Chapter 29. My brother is about to join me in this place. We have failed to kill the monster. I can think of no way to step into the real world and distract the evil from killing my twin. Our grandfather stands beside me, smiling. I do not understand his pleasure. Private Tilden could see the fire ahead, the smoke filling the sky with a single black cloud. From where he stood, it looked as if the lava fields themselves were on fire, yet he knew that wasn't possible. There were some small valleys filled with brush and trees in these types of lava beds. More than likely one of those valleys had caught fire. How, Tilden had no idea, but he would wager his next month's pay it had something to do with the creature. For over 30 minutes he had been following the creature's green blood trail, never once seeing Corporal Nakai's boot print. He had also spent a short time making sure the corporal wasn't at the bottom of a caved-in lava dome. The trail had gone right over the hole, and the scattered rock looked fresh. Either the creature or Corporal Nakai had caused the cave-in, that was for sure. But neither of them was at the bottom. Tilden stopped and studied the plumes of smoke ahead. The sun was up enough to make the black lava more like the inside of a frying pan. He could feel the heat coming up through his boots with each step he took. There was no way he, Corporal Nakai, or any other soldier could be out on this black rock during the intense heat of the afternoon. Tilden just hoped that the colonel understood that fact in the coming attack. From what Tilden could tell, the fires weren't very far away. If he could jog, he might be there within a few minutes. But jogging over this terrain was impossible. Instead, he just strode out, taking long paces, forcing himself to breathe deeply, picking his footfalls, making no sound. He was worried about Nakai. Tilden should have seen him on the way back long before this. There wasn't much time before the colonel started the next attack. Nakai was a survivor. If he could get back, he would have. Tilden was afraid Nakai was dead. The fire, though, gave him hope. Even if the creature had started the fire, it wouldn't have done so on purpose. It would have done so in response to something. Something Nakai had done. The fires were a signal of the monster's location, and maybe, just maybe, of Nakai's location. Nakai was probably dead, but he might have just been injured. He had shown an uncanny ability to survive anything that creature had thrown at him. Tilden had to see, had to make sure Nakai wasn't on the lava rock, crawling towards help. 6 minutes later, he cleared the top of a small ridge and could see for a few miles ahead. The smoke rose upward, obscuring much of the area. But he could see two distant figures on a dome just this side of the fire. One stood on top, while the other came up quickly from the side of the rock. Too quickly. The one climbing had to be the creature. That meant that the figure on top, more than likely, was Corporal Nakai. Tilden stopped and pulled out his binoculars, focusing down on the two figures on the dome. As he did, the one climbing took a huge bound and then disappeared as it landed at the top of the dome. Instantly, Tilden knew what Nakai had done. He had lured the creature into a pit, sending him to his death at the bottom of a lava dome. Nakai had somehow made the monster angry, then used himself as bait in one of the oldest hunting tricks in the book. Brilliant, Tilden said, laughing. Just totally and completely brilliant. As he watched through the binoculars, Nakai stepped towards the pit's edge, slowly, pistol in hand. His rifle was nowhere to be seen, and even from a distance, it was clear that he was badly injured. His shirt was missing, and his right arm was in a blood-stained sling. This evidently wasn't the first battle he and the creature had fought this morning. Nakai took another step to look over the edge of the pit. "Careful there," Tilden said to him, even though the corporal couldn't hear him from such a distance. "Don't go falling in with it." After he finished speaking, the creature came up suddenly, like a fish taking a fly fisherman's lure out of the water. The thing must have caught the edge of the pit and pulled itself out. Tilden didn't want to think that it was capable of jumping from the bottom of one of those pits. The creature grabbed Nakai's ankle, sending him tumbling over backward. Then it finished climbing out of the lava dome hole. "Shit!" Tilden screamed, yanking his rifle off his shoulder and dropping into a firing position on the ground. He was far, far too distant for any real hope at a good shot, but maybe he could distract the creature enough to force him to leave Nakai. Maybe he might even get lucky and score a hit. But by the time he had gotten his rifle into position on a rock for the impossibly long shot, he was too late. He was too late by seconds, only seconds. But in a life and death battle, seconds were all that mattered.